What's up, family, man? I'm back with another video. I don't know what I'm gonna name this video, but I'm eating a watermelon right now, as y'all can see right here. I'm eating a watermelon, and I ain't gonna lie, I had to vlog this because I am I'm a lot of a thinker, and I'm thinking right now. I want to bring something to your attention real quick. So every time I eat a watermelon, so I hope y'all know, I'm gonna start doing more talking about health on this channel, but like my spine has always been a little crooked, like hunchback, like Wiz Khalifa or any skinny tall guy you could name. But even in being skinny, that's not an excuse. Being tall, that's not an excuse. So my mom will always tell me, even though she's a part-time narc, she would always tell me, straighten up your back. And I'd be like, I mean, I wouldn't think too much of it, but I'll be like, oh, all right, whatever. I wouldn't really think about it. But then, that's in your subconscious, someone telling you to do something you can't really do because it's not in you to be doing that. Straightening up every day of the week, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just accepting, and it's when you're a kid, you're just going to accept it. Like, I'm not tripping, right? I'm still getting girls. I'm still outside. I'm still on the basketball team. I'm like one of the best players on the team. Like, I'm doing all these great things. I do not care about if I look, I thought it was all about the look because, but as I grew, and I always would make this, nowadays, I would make this, hypothesis or comparison how, when a guy releases his semen, it's like a web. It's like a white or clear web. And that is the root or the source of creation. And there's two things that are first formed when we're being born as kids, all kids on planet Earth. It's the heart and the spine, kind of, because God is structuring and creating. And, my mom is a wisecrack. So when she'll say stuff like straighten up your back, typically if a narc is telling you to do something like that, you're ignoring them and stuff like that. But I find it funny how these days, and I was able to pause, but I was able to see other men in life, like all my life, and see like some men do just have a naturally more historical, stronger, they just look stronger in general. If you look at two men standing next to each other, and I did question, like, what is that, right? Why would one, even two brothers, it could be two cousins, two brothers, just two men in general. And I found that it typically do be the spine. It'd be the spine that either the other guy sits up like this, right? And it's more of a dominant, masculine, authoritative. Even me speaking right now, I feel like the words are coming more from my gut. It's coming more from lower now that I'm tight, straightened up. But y'all don't realize that the reason why I'm more straightened up and it's easier for me to sit up like this because I'm eating this watermelon. I'm eating this watermelon, and as I was eating it, this is why I turned the camera on, because as I was eating, I literally felt my spine trying to strengthen on its own, right? Because our bodies are smarter than us. So this is why a mom should never be telling a son to straighten up his back. His back should naturally be. That's why when I was a kid, she wasn't doing that. But as I started to hit like 13, 12, 13, 14, as maybe some bullying started going on, maybe some societal things. And it's like, okay, now you're in the phase where when you're in a certain environment, because I went to a lot of bad schools growing up. I went to a lot of, bad schools, and it made me stronger somewhat, but it also comes with its side effects in other areas, just subconscious. So even if you stand up to a bully, you still might have internal fear. So you might not even be aware that you're hunching your back or that you're shying away from something, or you know when you see some people, you know you put your head down or you looking at, you know, you don't even pick up on these subconscious things. But what I'm saying is that it's an environmental thing, right? Just like a flower, if you put it in a dirty environment, it'll grow crooked, right? If you put it in a vase, or you put some, you know, you put things in certain, and that's why my spine, right? Like I felt it as I was eating this watermelon, which is a very sweet watermelon, and I'm like, wow, like I need to find out, family, how we can determine whether a watermelon is sweet or not. Because the last one I had, it wasn't sweet. I had three recently. The first one was it was funny enough, it was mid, right? It was pretty sweet, but it wasn't like this one. And the second one tasted like almost like water, but it had a little bit of flavor to it. So I tolerated it, but it kind of discouraged me a little bit. Like, okay, I'm not gonna just, you know, I'm gonna keep buying watermelons, but let me slow down because, you know, I don't want these people feeding me water. You know, it's called a watermelon, and they playing with us, feeding us melons full of nothing, like fake melons with water in it, and like. But eating this one right here, I was able to enjoy it a lot and say to myself, like, man, this is why we love watermelons. This one right here, you know, it's the traditional flavor. If it's that old feeling when I was a kid growing up, that would just like, man, like, you know, sometimes in life, like there's things on in life that are really great. Like, you know what I'm saying? And watermelon is one of them. So it'd been a shame if, you know, I couldn't, you know, this brought me back to life. You know, it's watermelon. You know what I'm saying? All the water that they sell today is not even, you know, it's not really water. You feel me? It's like diluted and like all this. And I still want to make my own farm. Like I'm trying to get my money up. I'm trying to find new ways of income. I'm about to start trying to be a vegan chef. You know what I'm saying? I might use my other channel and just become a vegan chef because I mean vegetarian chef. I got a vegetarian cookbook in my book bag or something over there, and I felt like, man, like I felt like at the end of the day, like uh that's what I am. You feel me? And if I'm gonna sell food, I could go to the little farmers markets or whatever around town and whatever. I could go to these little places and I could just, you know, I could cook the food and then I could deliver it. And I got friends too. Uh, I got friends that I've been chopping it up with that love to work out and stuff like that. So I know that they'll be into trying my food, man. I know they would do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm already good at cooking naturally. So I feel like over time I will get better. Like over time I will it'll naturally, you know, anything you do, especially if you start doing it for money, it's like, man, I gotta really cook. Like I don't mind cooking. I just don't, you know, when it's vegetarian it's easier because everything is already raw. Uh-huh. Hmm. This is so sweet. Yeah, that was like, man. But I was looking up on my phone how to identify, because you know I'm like a whiz, man. I gotta figure everything out. But I'm like, how to identify, and on Google it says how to tell if a watermelon is sweet, right? I hate when my hair look like this. Like I like when it flock, when it hang down, man. Come on, man. My hair is way longer than this, but I, you know. So look, it's a look for an orange, creamy, filled spot. Not filled, but filled, like a garden, like a field, like a football field spot. The darker yellow filled spot usually means it was on the vine longer and is full of flavor. So the darker yellow. So when you look at the watermelon and you see the little spot on the side, it could basically be white or to yellow, right? I don't know why my mind just thought of like the sperm scenario again, because that's literally like things remind me of that sometimes because I'm a guy obviously, and I remember certain periods in my life where those two colors of yellow and white, and on here it says creamy. They use words like creamy. They use words like web. It says, look, it says, let me read. Let me finish reading. Then I'm gonna tell you why my mind thought like that. It was on the vine longer, and it's full of flavor. If the filled spot is white, that's a sign that the melon is not quite ripe. Larger webbings or sugar spots means that the melon is seeping out sugar and is usually the sign of sweet melon. So just like the melon, we are humans, we're made out of water. So that's why I say the watermelon the funniest fruit, because it's literally probably this. They call it a superfood because it's literally almost the only fruit that's gonna give you that much life in one. You know what I'm saying? And look at the name; it's so simple, but it's so like universal, like watermelon. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing they say you die without, water. You could go without food, you can't go without water. That's what they tell you. But our body, when we drive fast, literally secretes water on its own. So we are the watermelon. Humans are already, we are. So it's funny how this the only fruit when I eat, I feel like my spine literally starts to strengthen. My spine. I don't really talk about my spine much because when I first went vegetarian during COVID, I started eating a lot of grapes and melons and stuff, but I wouldn't really get the watermelons. I would leave those alone. I would get like cantaloupe, I would get like papaya, I would get like honeydew melon, I would get like oranges, apples, and I would just fill up my room with fruits, but like I would leave out the watermelon because I'm like, if they like, I'm like, I don't know, something about the watermelons. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna mess with no seedless watermelons. Like, but I still feel that way, right? That's why I want to get my garden. I want to get like a garden and a farm and stuff. I want to get my own land and stuff like that. But the reason why I told you I make scenarios tie together, and I will always tell my mom like I was talking to my mom like probably last month or something, and literally I know this is a provocative topic, but like I was like, it's funny how the spine is like that, and when a guy shoots inside of a woman, it's like a spur, it's like a firework, it's like a straight line, right? It's a line, it's a web, and that web has to go deep enough to hit certain stuff, right? But like basically, um, our spine is still a straight line to this day. And I was listening to a yogi. His name's Sadhguru, and this was probably like 4 years ago, but he's still out here going crazy on YouTube. But he was talking about the spine and how yoga, helps to, because your spine should be erect. And I know this, but I still allow myself to not. I don't stay conscious of my spine like I want to be that guy and I'm gonna become that guy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very important actually. But back then when he told us that, matter of fact, I'm gonna type in on Google spiritual why we should have an erect spine. Besides the fact that all real men probably do that, but Just like the position of an antenna pulls and pours in signals into your TV, position you. This is on the Quora. I know y'all be seeing this when y'all type in for information. When we meditate, it is advised to keep the spine erect because the Kundalini energies from the root chakra rose upward and help us in spiritual growth. That's one answer. Okay, here we go. Just like the position of the antenna pulls and pours in signal into your TV, position you maintain of your body helps you link to the universal knowledge that is there for everyone to access. Literally telling you you're like an idiot if you don't, you miss out on so much when you're not erect spine. And I've been living like this for a while. So I know I'm pretty dense up here. I hate to say that to myself. I hate to curse myself, but I already know that I'm smart. It's just the fact that, like, if you missed information, you missed information. You just gotta realign your spine and get back on that channel. Literally getting on the channel. See, us as humans, we forget, bro, because we don't think like this, bro. I know you can't think like this if you're not living like this, because all we got is the experience we either got or don't got, and it's black and white. So if your TV's cut off, you're not watching TV. There's no way. If your TV's on, then you don't know how it feels how it is for that guy who never was watching TV. So that's how it is when I've been living a certain way for so long. And I can tell, man, like when my spine is right, that I feel different. I could tell that I'm getting more signals from the universe. I'm getting more information. I could tell, everything is instantaneous. It's not like it takes days for the signal to come in and for you to start feeling different. It's like as soon as you eat that watermelon, as soon as you start doing things, as soon as you start doing yoga, as soon as you start doing meditation, but it takes time because your environment is so built against that thing that it's going to fight you and give resistance until it can't no more. Just like a narcissist. So we could talk all day about the spine because I really don't chop it up about that too much. I really don't know everything about it, but I'm very curious about it because, like I said, I was talking to my mom like 2 months ago, last month. I'm like, that when you look at sperm, which we all really are, and it's like a straight line. It's a web. It's literally a web, and it turns into much more. But it's like the spine. It looks like a spine, right? The spine looks still. Our spine still is shaped like that web. So I think it's more life in our spine than we think and give credit for. Obviously, we don't talk about that. We go to the little doctor office, we get a little shot, they send us home, but they don't never say, man, straighten up your spine, man. And sometimes us as people, we need to have back braces because we have to brace ourselves, because just like braces with our teeth, it's still white. It's still the bone. It's white. Like a bone. That's weird, bro. Because when you say you have a boner, there ain't no bones inside of our thing, but it just becomes sturdy, but it's not no, like, it's literally like a snake. But then it's like, so then it's muscle. But then the spine is the sperm. Because it's the bone. So the bone is the marrow, so what I'm saying is that everything is connected on the universe. So I just be trying to connect everything. Because when you think about connecting everything, it makes it easier to remember. When you attach a story to everything, it's easier to remember. And then if it's easier to remember, it's easier for you to be resourceful when you need to go to it in your mind and pick it up. Like I need to stay. I don't know if I'm gonna get a back brace, family, but I'm gonna do something to ensure that I'm not sitting the way I'm sitting right now. Because even right now, my spine is literally still curved, and I don't even like it being a little curved because I did it for so long that now it's drastic measure time. You know, we gotta save our lives. Because I had braces at one point too. I don't know if y'all know that, but I had braces. And within the first couple of days, my teeth started to look better. And it's because bone could be manipulated. Our spine, you know, when you put a brace on it, it's gonna hold you in place until your body is able to stay that way. And so I spent so much time with a crooked back, which sounds crazy because I'm only 20 something. But it's the things we don't be looking at, bro, that really affect our lives. And I also was looking at like more yoga stuff, and it was like, man, when chiropractors, that's why people go to chiropractors, so people could, manipulate the bone. And that literally changes the life expectancy of the person. And I could tell it does based on how I be feeling when I'm like this. Like, this slouch stuff, one, is not attractive, and two, is just, I knew somebody else that was tall back in the day, and I used to wonder, like, why it seemed like he really just, like, he's tall like me, but his posture was a little bit more like stand up. And I was like, man, like, how is that possible if we're both like the same height? But so, a lot of stuff be stupid, but we got to think about it to fix it, because I don't think about a lot of stuff. I used to just overlook a lot of stuff, but I might have to do the back brace joint. If I don't find a way to do this on my own, I'm gonna have to order a back brace, family. So just brace yourselves, because I'm gonna brace myself. What is the spiritual significance of the spine? The spine is the axis of your being. I'm about to type in the word axis on the synonym app. I'm telling y'all, we gotta study. We gotta become smarter. This vlog wasn't supposed to go like this, but I guess it was too, because guess what? I'd rather give y'all great information than have the best vlog in the world. You know what I'm saying? Axis, the synonym for axis is the shaft. The core, which is the heart, the middle, the center, the focus, the hub, the nucleus, the stem. I believe we're literally dying when we, like, slowly, but we're literally dying over time when we don't fix our spines. I believe that's at the root of all disease. I honestly believe that. I don't care what nobody say, because I feel better that other way. I'm gonna make it a mission to fix my spine, bro. And you just breathe better. Like, all of this down here is windpipe and stuff. Like, this is your windpipe, and all of this down here is like, it helps you to breathe better. You're supposed to breathe from your gut. Even me sitting up right now, I feel like I'm getting, I'm breathing in more. Like, bro, I'm telling y'all, we about to get on this stuff, bro. On this spiritual stuff, bro. This is what I'm called to do in all reality. I could tell, bro. But nah, that's the bedrock of your. It's the bedrock of your existence. They say it's the eye. It's the interior. We gotta tighten up, family. Like, the spine is the eye of your being. It's the core. It's the nucleus of your being. I keep telling y'all, I'm smart, bro. Like, when you beat your meat, excuse my French, but then when that come out of you and you look at it, because we're not blind. I'm not saying we be staring at it, but you see it. You feel me? And you realize it's nothing but web. It's nothing but a web. It's nothing but a web, and it's nothing but like. But when you young and you do that, you don't realize like what it is. You just accept it for what it is, and all we attach to it is that that's a good feeling. You know, it feel good, whatever. But we be so stuck looking at the fact it feel good that we don't never question none of the health beneficiary stuff. And we be so young that we be assuming that our health is just gonna be, you know, we young. We think like this, you know, idiots. You know, we're young. So, but your spine is the axis of your being, right? The core. You face the world and all of life moves from back to front, from the spine into the world, from the unconscious dimensions of your being into the conscious. Yeah, they about to go real spiritual on us, talking about the spine. It says awaken the spiritual spine. And our spine is kind of shaped like a snake too. But it's really beautiful when you look at it. They got this little picture of like a spine right here. It's ugly, but it's beautiful at the same time. Like, the chakras lie in the central nervous system, the brain and spine, which controls all of the functions of the body and mind. Chakra meditations focus awareness onto the spine at specific areas where the controlling points for the chakras lie. The spine is the axis of your being. The embryo in the womb first creates the center spinal axis, and then the body grows around this axis. So when women be like, we can have a kid without you. I mean, y'all probably can. I think y'all can, because they said it got something to do with taking bone marrow and stuff like that. But then that mean one of y'all got to sacrifice y'all bones and all that type of stuff. So I don't know. God made Adam and Eve for a reason. He made, you know, left and right for a reason. So, you know, scientifically speaking, you know, you could do anything by yourself, you know, but why would you do that? Anyway, the axis of your individual world, the top and the bottom of your body, the two sides, and the back and the front of the body develop soon after. You then spend the rest of your life with your spine behind you. You face the world and all of life moves from back to front, from the spine into the world, from the unconscious dimensions of your being into the conscious. The chakras lie in the spine and transmute the vast, mainly invisible cosmic forces of the universe, bringing them down from a cosmic order of magnitude to a level that we can safely use. Physical and psychological energies in the chakras then motivate our body and mind, creating thoughts, feelings, and desires that motivate us to move forward into the world. The spine is the basis of individual consciousness. To work with the chakras, you need to take your awareness back into your spinal cord. The physical spine is the primary supporting structure for the body and mind. It is also the physical basis of your individual consciousness, as the spinal cord, because the nerve cells within the spine carry all the nerve signals that are required to sustain our waking, dreaming, and sleeping states of being. Without your spine, you're not anything at all. The spine is controlled by the Mahagunas. The Mahagunas, the elements of reality. The Mahagunas is the elements of reality, govern the physical, psychological, emotional, and spiritual functions of the spine, and are the basis for individual consciousness. complex patterns of nerves and chemicals in the brain and in the spine. The physical basis of the chakras are formed by tamas and motivated by rajas. They create the physical basis of the chakras to express themselves into the world. When sattva dominates over tamas and rajas, the bone, nerves, and chakras are healthy. When they are not balanced, you suffer. If tamas and rajas are in excess, sattva cannot operate freely. You lose awareness or experience some form of weakness, either a blockage or dysfunction that you will need to manage, and you are to regain balance and health. Then they talk about awakening the spiritual spine through meditation. We're going to do some meditation soon. Don't worry. Healing the mind. Talk about meditations and stuff. Man, I just put two and two together, and I love to do it on my own before I look at Google and what they say, because I already be knowing what I be talking about instinctually. But I knew our spines held an immense. Well, I didn't know. I would be lying to say I knew, because that would defeat what I'm talking about today. I mean, I learn something new all the time, but it certainly makes me anxious to be more in tune with it. To be honest, I already got